Hi everyone, thanks for visiting JemTarot, and I'll be doing your love readings for the first 2 weeks of March. Like I said in the last reading, I'll be starting with Pisces this month just to break it up a little bit. So let's get going. Pisces, for the first 2 weeks of March, what I'm seeing is, as the basis of this reading, there's been some sort of forced change, or something has happened that was beyond your control, that happened that you probably weren't happy with, a situation, possibly to do with a queen of swords or an air sign. It may have to do with an air sign. If this isn't your energy, then it is somebody around you. I feel like coming into March, there was some sort of loss or disappointment regarding a connection with someone. I think that there was possibly on your part some stubbornness that caused problems in connecting with or getting what you wanted from this person. I think given time, there will be improvements in this relationship given time. It could even be a partnership of some description. It might be a love relationship which also has an element of a business partnership attached to it, or you and your partner may be looking at a business of some description, and maybe you weren't happy with how things were progressing. Maybe the two of you are arguing about how to progress forward. I feel like there's some sort of stubbornness associated with this, and possibly confusion, not really being sure how to move forward, but more so I feel a sense of stubbornness. I also feel with this that there's some worry associated with this situation, and possibly even though it's not really indicated here so much, maybe more so with the Nine of Spades, that there might be some anger at yourself for not having or for creating this situation in the way that it was. I feel like there is a very strong element of business here. Maybe you were focusing too much on work or business and being stubborn in how you were communicating or addressing the issues with your partner, and they may have given you a dressing down as a result of that. But I feel like there's some sort of partnership forming. Maybe the two of you might be looking at some sort of business partnership as well as a romantic relationship as well. And that's also indicated through this card also. Be careful with these kind of situations, because it can easily imbalance the relationship from moving from a a love relationship to a functional relationship. And I guess that's also indicated with one heart card here. So there's more about action and planning and working together cohesively as opposed to love. I feel like maybe also you feel like, you have what you want in the relationship and in the love sense, and now it's time to focus on other things. That is another interpretation here. So central to all of this, though, I feel like there's this Queen of Spades, this air sign woman, or even a male. As you know from my previous readings, it can be male or female, but if it's a yin energy, it will be someone who, even if it's a male, it's more someone who's submissive or following you, rather than being a leader. So this yin energy is probably following you, waiting on you to progress or to make decisions, but she is also very much a part of this situation, and you need to work towards creating a balance between the two of you. And neurologically, let me just have a look. It's a 5. So with 5s, we're looking at some challenges. It's a time of change and challenges and upsetting the status quo, I guess, doing something different. And that may well be if the two of you are looking at a partnership of some description outside of your love relationship. So yeah, there may be some disruptions and changes for the first couple of weeks of March with your relationship. Okay, now on to Aquarius. Aquarius, if you are already in a relationship with someone, or you've met someone in the last couple of months that you're trying to progress with, I feel like you got what you wanted on one level, but there's still some ups and downs happening here. It hasn't quite gotten to a resolution. I feel like there might be some sort of fear of commitment, and I think, if you are dealing with a fire sign male or someone who has that kind of energy, it may even be you. There is someone that has a fear of commitment, and you're going to recognize this. It's kind of going to come to light. And maybe if you've been arguing, if you've been feeling these ups and downs recently in the relationship, you'll finally realize why you've been having these issues and why you've actually been arguing. I feel that this person is trustworthy, and they are generous to a degree, but I feel like they're lacking some passion and motivation with regards to the relationship for some reason. And you're going to find out the reason why for that in the first couple of weeks of March. That's if it applies to you. There might be some communications that will bring all of this to light. I don't necessarily think that there's going to be any major breakup from this. I feel like that just something that hasn't been clear or has been kind of hidden in the background, even a subconscious motivation of some description, will kind of see the light of day now. And I feel it is related to this yang energy, this king of clubs. I think that also there's been some sort of stress, like mental stress, and like I said before, some arguing around this situation. Let me have a look at the numerology here. It's a 5. So there's kind of changes happening. Things are kind of being stirred up, so to speak. Yeah, things are being stirred up for a reason. It's kind of like everything's coming out in the wash, and it might just look a little bit crinkled for a while until things sort themselves out. But I feel like the underlying thing here is a fear of commitment, and I don't feel like it has anything really to do with you, Aquarius. I feel like this is something this fire or king energy is dealing with himself. I don't think he's going anywhere. I just don't think he's ready to commit at this point. Alternatively, if there is someone that you're interested in and you're not in a relationship with someone, and there is a fire sign sort of energy or someone that is passionate, he might well be a really good friend to you, but I don't feel that he's ready for anything more at this point. Remember, this is a short-term energy, so it's just for the first couple of months of March. It's not to hang your whole relationship on, but around them at this point in time, for whatever reason, this is the energy. So changes are happening here. Things are being stirred up. It will be a bit of a challenge, I think, to deal with this issue for the first couple of weeks. But I do see some sort of grounding or stability. So I wouldn't give up on this just yet. There's not enough spade energy here for me to say it's gone. It's more so that it just needs some clarity, and I think that's why the 7 of Spades is here. It needs some clarity, and I think this king energy, this yang energy, needs some clarity for himself as well, and probably needs to delve into his own motives and possibly even communicate with you more openly. That's another feeling I get here, a sense that there needs to be more open communication. What I'm also feeling, there is a reconnection or being reunited with someone, possibly after a period of stress. And there needs to be some sort of acceptance with the situation, or acceptance with where this person is at the moment. Like I said before, it's not an energy that you just give up on. I feel like there needs to be some sort of reconciliation and understanding and acceptance of where this person is at. The 9 of Hearts for me is saying, well, it's something that you want, but I think that you need to accept where the relationship is at the moment, and not try to push for more at this point. And just more so, the advice is for open and clear communication between the two of you, so you both know where you stand without the arguing, but open and clear communication so that you can set foundations. But I think at this point in time, things are just being stirred up a little bit in order to create a new energy and clear the air a little bit, create a new energy, so that you can then decide where to move from here on in. All right, good luck with that, Aquarius, and it could possibly even change towards the end of March, so we'll have to wait and see with the next lot of readings for mid-March. And next we're on to Capricorn. Capricorn. Let's talk for Capricorn for the first 2 weeks of March, their love lives. what I'm picking up on is that whether it's you or somebody else around you or someone you're in a relationship with, don't really get an energy of a sign or anything, but someone's feeling quite anxious and worried about something. There's also a sense of being irritable and emotionally disengaged at the moment. I don't feel like there's any heart energy coming through at the moment because of somebody else's anxiety or worries. There's also confusion here. And I think the confusion is because it's like you don't know. Like it might even be that, you know, you're learning through a relationship, you're learning about yourself, and there's a lot you don't know, and that's causing you a bit of anxiety, or you really don't know what to do with the relationship is the other thing that I hear very clearly. You really don't know. It's kind of like a mystery to you at the moment, and I don't feel like you've even started to work it out yet. Like you have the book here to me, which is telling me that there's information that you're not accessing, or you are needing to look at something deeper. You're needing to do whether research or maybe commit to following through and finding out how to resolve any differences or issues that you do have. There's some sort of introspection, yes, but it's more so about learning. It's about learning, maybe learning how to communicate and learning how to act in congruence with your thoughts. And being congruent is something that comes to mind quite a bit here. So I think you're learning something through a relationship, or if you're not in a relationship with someone, or there's no one around you that you're working through issues with, then it's learning about yourself introspectively, looking at how you think and how you act, and whether those two things are in congruence with one another. Because I think you have some negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts create negative actions, or the actions aren't leading you towards your highest good. They're actually leading you away from stability and commitment. They're creating restlessness. They're creating a restless energy. There's a lack of cooperation here. So it could be lack of cooperation within a relationship, or a lack of cooperation or congruence again within yourself. I hope that is clear. I hope it makes sense to you, Capricorn. Beware of impulsiveness. Don't speak or act with impulsiveness. And at this point in time, I feel like that might be an issue for you, if especially you're worried about stuff, or worried about a relationship, or worried about where you're headed. Be careful of that restless energy and acting impulsively, because it's not stable energy at the moment. You might even feel quite trapped. And I would see this again as trapped with your own thinking. Your own thinking is keeping you trapped in a situation that is not allowing you to progress in a healthy, balanced way. If it's a relationship, then there's a lack of cooperation between the two of you at this point, or for the first couple of weeks in March, there is some sort of lack of cooperation, mainly due to somebody else's anxieties and worries. So it's their own issues that they're needing to work through, rather than, I'd say, a relationship issue, because I feel that one of you needs to work through some stuff and learn a new way of handling issues. What else? I also see here there might even be conflict. The worry and anxiety is because of fear of change. Yes, fear of change. So it's all a mental thing at the moment. You're trying to balance or find harmony within your own thoughts, and then using more balanced thoughts to create actions that are more in harmony. Numerology here is 11, 21, 27, 9. Oh, okay, it's a 9. It's kind of like, 9s are like you're kind of coming to the end of something. You're tying up loose ends, and maybe you're coming to the end of a situation and everything's just coming to a head at the moment. That you really do need to look at this very differently to how you've done it, and you need to learn something new, start a new period or a new chapter in your life. And how you do that, I mean, you can create that, but right now you're not creating it congruently and for your highest good. 9 is also about high wisdom and spirituality, and also about generosity and giving. So there's a sense of maybe looking at this from a very singular perspective, and needing to be generous of your emotions with your partner, if you do have a partner, or even giving to others in a selfless way in order to create that harmony and balance that you really do need to seek. I think that's all for that I can pick up on at this point. So on to Sagittarius. I have to think there for a moment because I'm going backwards this month. Sagittarius, what's in store for Sagittarius' love life for the first 2 weeks of March? Sagittarius, for the first 2 weeks of March, there's some sort of movement, whether it's literal or metaphorical. There is some sort of movement happening, or there's an acceleration of movement, or, you know, if we're talking about a metaphorical movement, then there's things starting to move and at an accelerated pace, and it looks like the clouds are dissipating. If there was a relationship that you were involved in that was causing a bit of trouble, not knowing what was happening, then things are starting to get clearer, or the worst is not so much behind you, but you're overcoming it, is what I'm feeling here. There is definitely a sense of movement though, so it may actually be that someone is moving. There might be some sort of travel involved, or someone moving to live with someone else, and I feel like that there might be some communications about solidifying a relationship on a physical level, how the two of you are going to actually come together. So the practicalities of coming together may be a topic of discussion for the two of you, but there's definitely some sort of discussion about commitment or movement or coming together. Someone might still be a bit anxious about this situation, but I do feel like there is progress being made, and I think the anxiety is someone's fear of commitment, fear of someone's fear of commitment. I don't know, it's not giving me much more of that, but there's some sort of anxiousness or restlessness regarding that. Alternatively, you might meet someone who you might have a passionate affair with. It may be short duration, but it will be enjoyable. You may even remain on friendly terms. However, it doesn't feel like it is a committed relationship, because I don't feel like that person is quite ready. But if you are in a relationship with someone, there will be discussions about solidifying or putting into action, creating a foundation for the relationship to grow. And so also for the passion of the relationship to develop more. I think that there will still be some sort of restlessness that needs to be overcome, but yeah, I guess all relationships are a work in progress. There's never an ending. Numerologically, we're looking at a 4, so it's setting firm foundations. It's setting a foundation for a relationship, possibly. So maybe this person is a little bit scared of having something solid, regardless of what they might be telling you. There is a sense of fear in maybe commitment. But I think that things will be resolving themselves slowly. If it is a relationship, a new relationship, and it is just on a passionate level, then enjoy it for what it is right now. Enjoy what you are getting right now, because I feel like it's a stepping stone to something else. It's like you're in between worlds at the moment, and this is just giving you some joy and something new to focus on a physical level, that will give you some sort of hope for the future, but don't count on its longevity at this point. Anything else with this? No, that's all I'm getting for this reading. So we'll go to Scorpio next. Scorpio, I couldn't make this up if I even tried. What's really surprising to me is that you are the 5th sign I've done in a row that has ended up with the 4 of clubs in this exact position. And I shuffle those cards for quite a few minutes before I lay them out with every sign. I guess you're getting the benefit of this insight. I thought it was curious with the last 4. I mean, usually, after 3, I'm already convinced, but after 5 readings, it's telling me that the universal energies at the moment are not conducive to stability. There's a lot of restless energy out there. If you are starting a relationship with someone or at the early stages of a relationship, I feel like there's a lack of commitment at this point in time. I don't feel like there's a lot of energy that's gearing towards commitment. I feel like there's a lot of restlessness around, and I think a lot of the signs are going to be feeling that this month, or at least for the first couple of weeks in March. That might have something to do with Mars being retrograde, Mars going retrograde in March, and we're also going to experience Saturn retrograde in April. So I think you'll feel that maybe pushing forward with things is not going to happen. I don't think you can push things forward at this point. So we're already starting to feel that energy come through in the readings for the beginning of March. So specifically for you, Scorpio, let me see. If you are single and looking for a relationship, I don't feel like there's any kind of specific movement happening at this point in time. I feel like more than anything that you are lacking nourishment. Whether you're single or coupled, I feel at this point in time there is a lack of nourishment in a relationship, or lack of nourishment from a relationship. So you're feeling that you need something, you need to connect with someone. For those that are single, I think that connecting with loved ones or with family members will be beneficial for you, because I don't feel like other things are moving. It might feel like a solitary moment for the first couple of weeks in March. If you are in a coupled situation, beware of arguments. What I'm feeling also than what I'm seeing through the cards is that there might be some anger coming through, maybe because of frustrated energy. Be careful how you nourish your partner and your relationships, because your frustrations may most likely filter into your relationship with loved ones, and that will cause some feeling of disconnection is what I'm feeling, and ultimately a wavering of emotions. So I feel like there's a sense that there's a feeling of, how can I put this, hard to accept love. Someone might be finding it hard to accept someone else's love. They're a bit confused by the concept, or they're confused about how to embrace it. And so that might be causing a lack of commitment. There's also a sense of numbness as well, emotional numbness, that I'm sensing here. If you are single and you're feeling alone, feeling isolated, I feel that you need to reach out to family and friends in order to connect, because I feel like there is people out there, or someone that is wanting to connect with you. If you are in a relationship, then beware of arguments, beware of frustrations, your own personal frustrations. And I feel like this is, it might actually be you, Scorpio. You might be feeling frustrated with something. So beware of how you're applying that frustration to other people. And I really feel like you need to work on that. It's curious to see this card here, because it generally signifies travel. So there might be some sort of travel embarked upon. You might go for a short trip early March or around March, or even planning a trip to visit someone, to reconnect, maybe because you've been feeling isolated from them. You've been feeling like there's been an emotional disconnect on some level. And you're feeling like there's a lack of commitment, so you need to reach out and reconnect with them. This might also signify communications with someone at a distance, so reaching out and connecting on a heartfelt level to reconnect those emotional ties. Numerology here is 14, 18, it's a 9. So tying up loose ends, or trying to look at your relationship or your situation from a higher perspective, gaining wisdom from this. And also selflessness and generosity is required for the first couple of weeks of March. I mean, generosity and selflessness, I mean, they're lovely qualities to have all year round, but in particular at this point in time, I think that they're highlighted because that's what's needed to bring a relationship together if it's been lacking an emotional connection. So you need to be a little bit more generous than usual in order to connect with this person. Emotionally generous, I hope I said that. And also physically, because I feel like there's a sense of a physical disconnect. Maybe you're physically disconnected from your partner at this point in time. So don't feel like there's a resolution here like with the previous readings. I don't feel like there's a resolution or there's some sort of happy ending here. I feel like it's a work in progress. And I think this also may symbolize that the relationship is a journey. It's not an ending. It's like a journey. There's always ups and downs. But it's like you're working towards a goal. Maybe you need to set a goal for a relationship is another thing I'm feeling here. Set relationships that are attainable, that the two of you can work towards. All right. I hope that was useful, Scorpio. And next, on to Libra. What's in store for Libra for the first 2 weeks of March? So Libra, coming into March, or for the first couple of weeks of March, I feel like there's quite a bit of positive energy. I feel a sense of luck, a sense of good luck, maybe improvement with your health, improvement maybe with the physical side of a relationship. Maybe there's been some sort of lacking, but just feel like there's improvements, and like you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling quite lucky and pretty good. And I feel like there's strength and growth happening for the start of March at the very least. Numerologically here, we're looking at a 1. So that's new beginnings, start. So maybe you've come out of a period where you've tied up all the loose ends, you've let go of something, and now you're starting a new phase. I feel like there's an opportunity for growth within yourself or within a relationship. So a relationship or your emotional self is starting something new. There's what I really am feeling, a sense of calmness and peace and even love. Love for your family, love for a significant other. There might be a fire sign energy coming into your life or in your life already. There might be some sort of ambiguity or mental stress around them, but nevertheless there's a connection, there's opportunity for growth. It might be that you or this fire sign yang energy, so yang energy for me is a male, or it can be someone who is kind of the leader of the more dominant energy in a relationship. I feel like maybe they want to pull back a little bit from the relationship, or maybe you have some anxiety about this person and you want to pull back from them a little bit. But I feel like there's growth here. There is definitely an opportunity and room for growth and growing here. I also feel like, I don't know why I feel this or why I'm hearing this false sense of security. Maybe you have anxiety about, mental stress about this person. What I'm feeling more so is that maybe you don't feel secure with this person. And yet I do see, like, your foundation card is one of stability and security and luck even. And even the 6 of diamonds here to me is about growth. Also, it's about taking responsibility. I feel that very strongly. For some reason, I got a vision of these 2 cards, like even this being a tree almost growing. So there's growth, but I feel that in order for things to grow, you must take responsibility for your own health and for your own emotional health. I'm saying, in order for this new start to flourish. Because no matter what, if you've come out of the past and you're moving on to something new, you might find that you have the same sort of anxieties coming back from the past. And yet, even though this is a very stable situation, I feel it's quite good for you. You might feel that your old tape loop in your head is replaying again with this person. Some healing then is needed in order to overcome these anxieties, or the lack of security, the feeling of a lack of security in your relationships. A lot of introspection, a lot of looking within this year, Libra. Not just for you, but for everybody. I feel like with Mars and Saturn going retrograde, one after the other, it's really forcing everybody to slow down and to really assess and take a good look at their patterns from the past before they move forward again, which will happen later in the year, around July, August. So really looking within and looking at past patterning in order to grow and to flourish the way that was intended for you. So be aware of any anxieties that you have and create a new beginning for yourself. You do have that opportunity here, and you do have that stability. but take responsibility for whatever the issues are in your life. Do not put the blame on the other person. Learn from this to bring about an emotional reawakening for yourself. If you're single, then Libras, I do feel that there might be an opportunity for new love, something to bring about a sense of joy and happiness for you, an opportunity for love, and even a sense of peace. I feel like whoever is coming in will bring you a sense of peace and stability. Again, stability and room for growth, opportunity for growth as well. All right, so good luck, Libra. And next we're going to do Virgos. Oh, how interesting. Virgo, right off the bat, I'm feeling that there's a bit of anxiety about a decision. Maybe you have two people in your life, two men, equally good for you. Equally good for you in your life. And there's a bit of confusion about what to choose. Definitely a momentous decision. It's interesting that this card came out directly underneath the two kings. So could be a earth sign and a water sign that you are having to make a decision about, and it's probably causing a bit of anxiety and worry about what to choose. Wouldn't that be a great a great reading for everybody, that we have a choice between two awesome individuals? I feel like there is confusion, and it's probably caused a bit of upset for you, but I think things are starting to become a little bit clearer, and there's things are coming to light. Like things will slowly start to become clear for you. There might be something that's shown to you that helps you make a decision. I think just wait for things to develop on their own. I think you will make a decision, but I think you're waiting on something that will come to light, that will give you a little bit more understanding of what's happening. These two energies might represent two different paths to take. Not necessarily to do with two different people, but two different paths or choices to make in life, whether you look at something from an emotional perspective, or you look at something purely from a material perspective. If you are already in a relationship with one person, you might have someone else that you're interested in that offers you something that the other person doesn't. Or if you are in a relationship with someone and you're not really satisfied, it might be that this person offers you material comforts but doesn't offer you the emotional connection that you're longing for, or vice versa. So there is some sort of decision that needs to be made, and as you progress, I guess, through March, things will become clearer. Again, remember that Mars, the planet of drive, action, motivation, energy, it's going retrograde in March. So we can expect that a lot of things will be stalled or it will give you time to really assess what your needs truly are, so that you can become clear and make a decision. And it's a mental, you have to be very clear mentally about which way it's going to go. So like I said, is it stability or is it the emotional connection that you're after? Yeah, there is worry. I do feel like there's a sense of worry that comes with this decision. Am I going to make the right decision? And also a sense of fear of letting go. Maybe you're hanging on to something. You're hanging on to something stubbornly, and there's a need to shift into the emotional energy to make a decision. Yeah, so maybe coming more into the heart energy to make the decision as well, instead of just looking at physically how it's going to work. But as I said, things will come to light. Both these cards to me indicate that, something will be revealed, whether it's a truth being revealed or whether it's things just coming to light naturally, forming and becoming clearer for you to make a decision, and clearer skies coming out. That will then lead you to possibly towards the end of the month, I hope, when we do this reading again, mid-March, that things have cleared up and you will start to understand what decision it is that you need to make. However, again, like I said, with Mars going retrograde in March, and then we're going to have Saturn retrograde in April, that may not happen immediately. You might be lucky. I'd have to check what the energy is around Saturn and Mars for Libra, but it may well continue for a little while longer. But yeah, numerology here. So it's a 6. It's about finding harmony and balance in your life. Yeah, balancing the two opposing ideas. You're worried about disrupting the harmony. You're worried that maybe choosing between two people. And it's a 6 here as well. So 6 in the numerology, and 6 here as well. So choice and harmony. So whatever choice you're making, it's to bring more harmony in your life, to bring a sense of togetherness and an opportunity for growth. Yeah. Good luck with that, Virgo. Sorry. I hope I didn't say Libra during that reading. Please forgive me if I did, but it was for Virgo. So the next reading is for Leo. What information or advice is there for Leo's love life for the first 2 weeks of March? Leo, I'm a bit confused with your reading for early March, Leo, because I'm getting conflicting messages. Or maybe I'm just picking up on the energy of confusion, which there is some confusion here. Confusion maybe because you have a lack of commitment to a relationship, or lack of commitment to wanting a relationship, or wanting to settle down maybe. There's a new beginning for you, and there's an opportunity of communication. Maybe there's some sort of discussion. Maybe there's a few ways I can read this. Wanting to buy a home with your partner, and there are sudden changes There's some sort of communication around that, and there are sudden changes that you are not really quite sure of. You don't know which way to turn, and you need to give yourself some time to work through that. You feel committed to it on some level, and you might even like the idea, but you need a little bit of time to process what's going on. Some other emotions that I'm picking up on in this reading are maybe a fear of expressing yourself. So you need to communicate, but you're kind of holding back. Like you're holding back on communication. You want to withdraw from communication for some reason. Maybe until you're more clear. Maybe until you really understand what it is that you want. Because things may be moving too quickly for you. That's what I get more so, that things that the speed at which something happened was too quick, and you are confused about it, and you need more time to make a decision, because at this point in time you can't commit to whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's moving in together, or buying a new house, if you're already in a relationship. Yes, so things move too quickly, and that's caused a state of confusion for you. Whatever it was, it might have been an unexpected surprise. Yeah, and probably not one that you wanted, I guess, because that's why you need some time to process and work it out. There's also a very strong sense of a crossroad. I don't think you're at the point where you want to make a decision yet, because I don't see the decision card. I don't feel like you're on solid ground at this point in time to make that decision. I don't feel a sense of security yet where you can definitely say, yes, I want that. I also feel a sense of fear around love. So maybe it's you, or maybe it's your partner. You might be wanting to play the field, or you have been playing the field because you have a fear of love. So if that applies to you, I guess the advice there is, not looking to externals in order to resolve your internal struggle of confusion, because it will just end in a mess. Because you're not dealing with the issue itself, you're just finding another avenue or another route to divert you from the real issues, but eventually you will always come back to the same issue, no matter whether it's in this relationship or the next. So give yourself a bit of time to find some solid ground and stability, and try and communicate. If you can't communicate, if you have a fear of communicating something to a partner one-on-one, then maybe write a letter, if that's the easiest way, if you can't do it face-to-face. Numerology here is a 2. So you're looking at unity. It's like, you're looking at a situation that will create unity and stability for you in your life, and you're not quite sure whether you want it. Maybe you've met someone, it's a new beginning in a relationship, or it's a new beginning in your life and you weren't ready for it. You might have met someone that just blew you away, and it's created some sort of confusion because it happened too quickly. But don't throw it away just yet, Leo. Give it some time to work through. I mean, ultimately, I do sense that you're going to try and pull away and detach. But you have a choice. You always have a choice. I'm just reading the energies right now. Maybe when you hear this, it will give you the opportunity to make a different decision. And you can always do that. Anything else? Ultimately, what you're looking for here is a sense of unity and wholeness. So even though at this point in time I'm not feeling that this card is giving me that sense of wholeness, I feel that that's what you're working towards. Maybe that's what you're running away from. You have 2 4s, so that's about a solid, stable foundation. But I think the foundation is within you. So, and it's another sign this month that needs to reevaluate their perspective, where they're coming from, their own anxieties, which are contributing to the dysfunction or the imbalance in a relationship. Because again, it's the 2 is looking for wholeness and unity and balance. And I don't see that yet, even though it's like the universe is pushing you in that direction, and there's a sense of resistance. All right, good luck, Leos. So on to Cancer. What's in store for Cancer's love life for the first 2 weeks of March? Cancer, what an interesting spread. When I looked at this, I read it actually as 3 10s, because you've got 2 and then a 9 and a 1, both diamonds. So it's a 30, which is 3. So this is a spread of creativity. It's creatively bringing about maybe a union or a partnership even, because I don't see, the only hearts I see here is this one. The rest I see as maybe solid, materialistic. And even this to me is luck and gain financially. So there could be a luck and gain in a material sense or a physical sense with a relationship. And if I was to read it as a relationship, it's a relationship where you're going to put in extra effort. Yeah, it may not start off as a love relationship or a lot of emotion attached. It might be just purely from a physical perspective. It's possibly, a relationship that takes you on a new journey or gives you a bit of excitement. I do feel that. And you're going to want to put the effort in, and that will bring you great rewards. And, the start of a solid foundation in a relationship. So I see that very clearly. On another perspective, I can also see this, some sort of partnership that brings you changes and brings more financial stability for you, more groundedness, something that you wanted, and it's the beginning of some sort of material gain from a partnership or a relationship. I mean, these are love relationship readings, but I've seen in other readings that it can also relate to, some sort of partnership with someone, whether it's a friendship or work related. This one feels quite work related as well, but it can also relate to love where you are actually thinking about things logically and putting things into action to create more stability. And having done that, you will reap the rewards from that. So there is some luck involved. And again, Cancers, you might be, financially coming out a winner, especially for the first 2 weeks of March. Something will happen that will be quite stimulating for your finances. Possibly gained through a partnership with someone or through a love relationship. So maybe the merging of with another partner or with a partner will actually bring you more financial gain, if that's how you want to look at your relationships. There's possibly even some sort of travel involved. So you might be investing money in traveling to be with a partner. But from a numerological perspective, it's creativity. So you're creating something. It might have to do with arts, if we're going to look at it from a very literal sense, or it could just be that you are creating a new situation, that you're putting the effort in and you are creating this and working through it in order to bring this relationship to more stable ground. So 3 is a movement. I mean, each number is moving towards the next. So 3s are moving towards a 4, which is a stability, a solid foundation from which more growth can occur. So yes, so you're creating something to move it to the next level. I feel like it's a pretty lucky moment for you, Cancer. So make the most of it and good luck with that. All right, and next on to Geminis. Gemini, I feel like there is some good stuff coming for you early March. Feel like maybe in the past couple of months it's been a difficult time for you. You've suffered some loss and disappointment. There might have been some sort of ending or forced change, some sort of change that was unwelcome and forced. But ultimately, you know, whatever the change was, it was for your benefit. It happened for a reason, and it was good that it happened. You may not agree with me if it was a very difficult time for you, but I feel that these cards are quite positive for me. It's another 3 numerologically. So it's a time of, what I see here, it's a time of being grateful and appreciative and a time of new beginnings. And finally, these new beginnings is what you've been looking for. You've been waiting for something, and it's fine. What you've wanted comes about. So whether it's, you know, ending a relationship or finally, you know, clearing away the debris in a relationship that makes way for something new and brings you more stability, or it's just that disappointment that you've had in the past has now worked itself out, and there's a start of changes happening and new beginnings in a relationship with someone, which is what you've been wanting, and you feel so grateful for it. 2 9s here. You feel very grateful for it. You feel like you feel quite satisfied that it's finally come about. And it's going to bring you a sense of financial and physical comfort. You will feel like you have it all, like it's a sense of completion here. From the cards, from a numerological perspective, it's still working itself out. So it's a 3, and it's still a work in progress. So don't, even though these cards are showing a quite positive state, and a sense of being grateful and appreciative for the way things have turned out, it's not the end. So you still need to put in some effort, and effort is needed because there's still a journey or a way to go yet, but it's the start of new beginnings, and these 2 cards very clearly point to me at new beginnings. Emotionally, what am I picking up here? I feel like that you will come out of this and go, perfect, like this is exactly what I wanted. That's the feeling I get. Yeah, it's like perfection, and a sense of cooperation. But I'm also picking up on some sort of fear around love, because we only have 1 heart card here. So like I said before, the 3 in numerology is explaining to me that yes, you might have gotten what you wanted, but you're still kind of still working things out. Like, it's not quite there yet, even though it feels pretty good, and it will feel really good. It will feel really good, Gemini. And for that, you have to be grateful for, but you still have some stuff that you need to work out, and you will still need to put some effort into this situation. It's definitely a journey. You might even be taking a journey with a loved one. You might finally have the money to go on a trip, and you'll be quite happy with that. What else is there? If you're single, Gemini, a situation will work out in your favor. You might have the opportunity to go and travel and have new experiences that you will be really happy and grateful for. That will open your eyes up to new experiences, because, you know, maybe in the past you have had some loss and disappointment. So you've really needed this. So if it is a journey, you've really, really needed this, and you're finally getting something that will give you some relief. But you're still a little bit fearful and tentative. Like I said, with the threes, there's still a way to go, and you still have a little bit of fear that you need to work through, and you're kind of going to be tentative, even though you'll feel really, really good. I think that the past is still, like, you've got 3 9s here. It's very interesting. It means it's not the end, even though it will feel like even though it will feel like you have reached a pinnacle and you've gotten what you wanted, it's not quite the end yet. That's what I'm feeling very clearly here. But it's all pointing in the right direction, Gemini, and I think that's been one of the most positive spreads I've had for you this year. So all the best and good luck with that one. And next on to Taurus. Okay, so it feels very complex here. I'm feeling a lot of emotions. So I need to be clear about this. Okay, so the foundation here, I'll start with that. It's a sense of needing to take responsibility for one's actions, take responsibility for the manifestation of possibly the relationship, or where the relationship is, or what has transpired with the relationship. So taking responsibility, that's at the heart of this, or it's the foundation of this situation. So this is a 9 spread. So that to me is signaling that you really need to look at this from a higher perspective. There's a need for wise counsel, possibly, really assessing things and tying up loose ends. That's what 9s usually mean for me. Before the beginning of a new cycle, you need to really look at everything clearly and with compassion. Let go of things that no longer work for you, tie up those old things, and then move forward with things that do work. I guess I feel that there is confusion about what to do, possibly about whether or not to invest into a relationship, or how much you want to invest in a relationship, or even being stubborn and opinionated. Surprise, surprise for Taurians, but a bit stubborn about investing in a relationship. For some reason you're holding back. And in fact, I feel a sense of emotional disengagement. Maybe you are emotionally disengaged, or you feel that the other person is emotionally disengaged, and that's confusing you, and I guess you're restless, or not sure about whether you want to invest anything more into the relationship. Maybe there's a sense of feeling banished. That's the emotion that came through. I try not to question it too much, but there's that emotion did come through, that message did come through, that maybe some of you feel that you've been banished emotionally. Maybe someone has disconnected from you and you feel on the outer with this person. But I also feel like there's a sense of hope here. There's trust and hope, the belief that things can move forward. And here at the base you have the woman holding the rose, and she's looking out to her, or be her right. So waiting on things to physically manifest as well. You have 2 clubs here, which to me are like fire energy and movement. So you're waiting on things to manifest physically. But I also feel that I really do feel like there's forward motion. There will be some forward motion. Even though there's confusion and a sense of being stuck, I also feel like there's an opportunity, that you can move forward through this, and that there will be movement. This woman is waiting, whether it's you being the receptive yin energy, waiting for someone else to come forward, or whether it's somebody else waiting on you patiently, possibly even restless energy. But ultimately I feel like there is love. Whatever this situation is, I feel like she's waiting on love. She has a rose and she's waiting to give that rose to somebody. Or maybe someone has given her that rose and she's waiting on them to physically manifest in her life. But there is a connection of love here, I do feel. And there's maybe waiting for things to develop and just waiting to see how much the other person will invest or involve themselves before you invest anymore. Or maybe you're restless and wanting to invest in this relationship. You really do want to do it. I don't see a lack of commitment here whatsoever. I feel like on some energetic level there's a desire of wanting to, and you're not doing it because you're just waiting on the other person to do it first, maybe. That's more so what I'm getting from here. With this card, I feel like these obstacles that you are working with at the beginning of March or towards the end of February, I feel like obstacles will be overcome. I feel like you will move forward. And I think that the relationship may either be renewed, if this is an old relationship coming back, or it could even be like a sense of karmicness to this situation, to this relationship, like you really feel tied to them. There's a sense of karmicness to this relationship, so it's someone that you feel intimately, or it's someone from your past that's coming back, and you'll be reconnecting. There's a restlessness around it. There's a lot here. There's a lot of energy here, but ultimately you're working towards harmony. And I feel that you will achieve some level of harmony here after all this restlessness. And there's also a sense of cooperation. So people are wanting to cooperate. Maybe each one of you is waiting on the other to make the first move. But there's a sense of cooperation here. And it's funny, I feel like these might be 2 different people. So one person coming from the heart and one looking from things from a physical, material perspective. But ultimately they want the same thing. That's what I'm hearing as well. All right, so next on to Aries. And of course, it's the last sign we're doing today. It's been quite an interesting process. I hope you don't mind being last for once, Aries. So Aries, last but not least, it's probably a sense that you've been working really hard towards something in a relationship, or working towards a relationship, or just working really hard in a relationship. Yeah, there's a sense of work, and you need to take a break. More so, I feel mentally, like you know, there's a sense of mental stress around this because you've been working really hard. It's either you or because this is a fire energy, it could be you, but if you're female, it could just be that you are directing things, or you're kind of like the one that's putting this energy out there. And I feel like if this is you, Aries, you are not afraid to speak your mind. You're going to say exactly what you want to say, like how you want to say it. But I also feel like that you're going to do it in a peaceful and wise manner. And even though you do say it in that way, it may not create a peaceful resolution. It'll probably create more stress or arguing, but I feel that you need to say it. You are going to say it, and you're going to express yourself clearly and let everything out that has been bothering you, anything that's been pent up. I also feel like there's a sense of perfectionism, like you really want something to be perfect, or whether it's you or your partner. There's a sense maybe you're nitpicking on your partner in a overly perfectionistic way, and you're not appreciating them, or you're not feeling appreciated. Maybe someone is picking on you, maybe another fire energy is picking on you, and you don't feel that sense of appreciation. I feel like there's a sense of failure here, like you might be feeling like you failed in some way, or that you're just not getting to where you want to go, and you're kind of closed off and protecting yourself against hurt, emotionally closing yourself off. But I also feel that, you know, on a mental level, you are very clear, and you're going to direct that to your partner. I also feel like you've been closed off to your own needs. Maybe you haven't been having your needs met for a while now. The Nine of Hearts is saying appreciation for yourself and your needs, and knowing that you need to be appreciated, and you need appreciation, and you need to value your needs and give to yourself. And that might not sit well with the other person, but it's necessary for you to focus on your needs at this point in time. Yeah, there's still a bit of work to be done here, but more so on yourself, and honoring yourself and having your needs met within the relationship, most especially for the first 2 weeks of March. Okay, I hope that was useful for you all. Thank you again for watching, and thank you for your subscriptions and your kind words. I will be putting up the general readings for March a little bit later than normal. I will endeavour to get them done by the first week of March, and the mid-month love readings as usual. So thank you all again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.